Good morning, everyone. It's Mrs. James, your favorite school counselor here at Medellin. I have the pleasure of reading chapters 39 through 43 for you this morning. Everyone in the reading room was quietly lost in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Kyle had just finished a pretty cool story called A Scandal in Bohemia, about a king who was going to get married to a royal heiress with maybe 6 names. But the king was being blackmailed by an old girlfriend, an opera singer from New Jersey named Irene Adler. Something Sherlock Holmes said to Dr. Watson early in the story really stuck with Kyle. You see, but you do not observe. Kyle figured that was why Mr. Lemoncello wanted them all to take a break from chasing clues and read these classic mysteries. Not to find new clues, but to become better puzzle solvers. Had they been seeing things without really observing them? Probably. Reading the story was also kind of fun. Kyle could really see Holmes' apartment at 21B Baker Street, and the snooty king and the horse-drawn carriages on the foggy London streets, and the disguises Holmes wore, and the smoke bomb Dr. Watson tossed through a window, and everybody on the street screaming, "Fire!" It was like he was watching a 3D IMAX movie in his head. Kyle couldn't wait to start the second story in the book, The Adventure of the Red-Headed League. How's it going?" whispered Akemi. "This book is pretty cool. This Sir Arthur Conan Doyle guy knows how to keep his readers hooked." "His characters leap off the pages," said Sierra. "Yeah," said Miguel. "I dig the consulting detective." "Huh?" said Kyle. "That's what Holmes calls himself sometimes." "Oh, I've only read one story so far." And suddenly something seemed odd to Kyle. "Hey, how come Conan Doyle isn't one of those statues up there?" "What do you mean?" said Akemi. "He's a famous author, right? How come they're projecting a statue of a modern writer like Pseudonymous Bosch, but not the author who created a classic like Sherlock Holmes?" "Good question, bro," said Miguel. "I need to consult with my brother Curtis." "How come?" "Curtis has read more books than anyone I know, except maybe Sierra. He scored an 808 on his SAT subject test in literature." "Huh?" Kyle said. "Akemi, I think the top score for any SAT test is 800. "Yep. Then Curtis took it. They had to raise it." "Ah, so maybe he can help us figure out what's up with the statues," said Miguel. "Exactly. Why these 10? Why not 10 other writers? Why not the same 10 Bridget Wadgehead had for her extreme challenge?" said Sierra. Kyle looked around the room. "Mrs. Tobin? Hello, Mrs. Tobin?" The hazy holographic image of the 1960s librarian flickered into view. "How may I help you, Kyle?" "I'd like to talk to an expert." "And whom do you wish to speak to?" "Mr. Curtis Keeley." "Your brother?" "And an SAT certified expert on the subject of literature and authors and other literary type junk." Suddenly the hologram vanished, and Dr. Zinchenko's voice came over the ceiling speakers. "This is rather an irregular request, Mr. Keeley." "Hey," said Akemi, "this whole game is rather irregular, don't you think?" "We just need some more data," said Kyle, "because, like Sherlock says to Dr. Watson, it is a capital mistake to theorize before one has data." "I take it you're enjoying your book," said the librarian. Kyle gave the closest security camera a big thumbs up. "Booyah! Can't wait to see what's up with the League of Red-Headed Gentlemen." "Ah, yes," said Dr. Zinchenko, "a fascinating story. I recently reread it myself." "Very well, Kyle. We will contact your brother to determine if he does indeed qualify. as a literary expert. It may take a while. No rush, said Kyle. I've got a good book. Kyle was busy helping Holmes figure out that the Red-Headed League was just a clever ploy pulled by some robbers to get a red-haired pawnbroker to leave his shop long enough for them to dig a tunnel from his basement to the bank next door, when the librarian's voice jolted him out of London and brought him to Ohio. My apologies for the interruption. Akimi, Miguel, and Sierra closed their books too. It was 11:15. Everyone had sleepy, dreamy looks in their eyes because they'd been kind of drifting off in their comfy reading chairs. What's up? Said Kyle. We have arranged for your expert consultation with Mr. Curtis Keeley. Awesome. How do we do it? You and your expert may have a 5-minute video chat on my computer terminal, which is located behind the main desk. Kyle hurried over to the round desk in the center of the room. His 3 teammates hurried right behind him. Your consultation begins now. And there was Curtis, sitting at his computer in his bedroom. Hey, Curtis! Hi, Kyle. How's it going in there? Great! Kyle's oldest brother, Mike, popped into the doorway behind Curtis. Kyle, Kyle, Mike chanted, woohoo! Kyle had never had his own cheerleader before. We need you to give us 110% in there, little brother. Mike squinted at the screen over Curtis's shoulder. Who are those other guys? My teammates, Miguel, Sierra, and you know Akimi. You guys are a great team. Smart move. Even I can't win football games without help from 10 other guys. Mike, said Kyle. Curtis and I only have 5 minutes to chat. Cool. I'm out of here. Win, baby, win. Mike backpedaled out of the bedroom, making double fist pumps the whole way. You have 4 minutes remaining, advised Dr. Zinchenko. Okay, Curtis, here's my question. What do these authors have in common? Kyle rattled off the list of the statues in order, and Curtis stared blankly into his computer cam for a real long time. Then he shook his head. I'm sorry, Kyle. I have no earthly idea. Chapter 40. Really? Kyle was astonished. You've got nothing. Well, said Curtis, the only connection I can see is Thomas Wolfe wrote Look Homeward, Angel, and Lewis Carroll wrote Through the Looking Glass. Both titles have the word look in them, but the 2 books are otherwise completely different. The 2 authors as well. Kyle and his whole team stood in stunned silence until Sierra started jumping up and down. Of course, she shouted. Your time is up, announced Dr. Zinchenko. Okay, Kyle said to the computer screen. Thanks, Curtis. That was really helpful. It was, said Sierra daintily, clapping her hands together like a very polite seal. The computer screen faded to black. What's up? Said Miguel. I think I know how to crack the statue code. There's a code, said Akimi. Who knew? It'll take time, said Sierra, and I need a computer. Okay, said Kyle, who was sort of shocked to see Sierra so completely jazzed. We'll be in our meeting room putting together a list of new Dewey Decimal numbers from the Bibliomania cards, so we're ready to hit the ground running when the doors reopen at 10 tomorrow morning. When Sierra settled in at a desktop computer pad, the rest of the team returned to the Bibliomania board game. We should just start flipping over cards and putting together a list of call numbers, Kyle suggested. Sounds like a plan, Akimi. She plucked a purple card out of the pile. Lose a turn was all that was printed on the other side. Try a different color, urged Miguel. Akimi flipped up a blue card. Take an extra turn was printed on it, so Akimi flipped over all the other blue cards. while Miguel flipped over all the purples. The purple cards all said, lose a turn. The blue ones said, take an extra turn. Kyle had been checking out the red and maroon piles. The reds all say, pick a yellow card. He repeated the maroon, said, grab a green. The grays do the same thing, said Miguel, only they say pick a pink. The tan cards say go grab an orange. So that leaves the colors we've already played. Kyle flipped over a yellow card. In the square root of 48, 629, 202, 71209. What the? Said Akimi. Hang on, said Miguel. There's a calculator app in the desktop computer. Kyle read the rest of the card. Find half of 4, 40, and 30. Well, that's 2, 20, and 15 again, said Akimi. And the square root of 48,000, whatever is 220.5203, said Miguel. The King James Bible we already found. Akimi flipped through the rest of the yellow cards. Same with these. They all send us into the religion section to find the Bible verse. Ditto with the greens, reported Miguel. All clues leading to bird songs, warbles, and whistles. And the pinks all lead back to 027.4, said Kyle. I guess they really wanted to make sure we found get to know your local library. Which leaves the wild card, said Akimi. She examined the orange deck. Find a rhyme for cart and paperbacks, smart and zodiacs, tart and potato sacks. The art and artifacts room, said Miguel with a sigh. Where, Akimi continued, we need to find a rhyme for Randy, Sandy, or Brandy. The Willy Wonka candy, said Miguel. So, said Kyle, I'm guessing the Bibliomania card game was only supposed to help us find the 4 clues we've already found. But we need to know more numbers, said Miguel, because a library should be a no place for no bodies. When Miguel made his pun, Kyle and Akimi both groaned. But then Kyle thought of something. This is why Mr. Lemoncello called our time out a bonus. We knew we'd need a ton of time to find a new source of numbers. Well, they thought for a minute when Miguel made his, then he knew he'd made a ton of time to find a new source of numbers. We need to find a source of new numbers. Just then, Sierra burst into the meeting room. You guys, I found a whole bunch of new numbers. What? Said Kyle, Akimi, and Miguel. Where? Up on the ceiling. Chapter 41. You need to look up at the Wonder Dome, said Sierra. Huh? Said Kyle. Sierra and her whole team were standing together outside the door to Community Meeting Room B. She hadn't been this happy or excited in a long time. Sierra, said Akimi, why exactly are you suggesting we all give ourselves a crick in the neck by staring at the ceiling? Okay, this is a game some of us play online called What's the Connection? I put up a list of authors and you have to figure out how they're linked by the titles of their books. Whoa, said Akimi, sort of sarcastically. Sounds like fun. It is, but believe me, it's not easy. What'd you figure out? Asked Miguel. Well, like Curtis said, Thomas Wolfe wrote Look Homeward, Angel, and Lewis Carroll wrote Through the Looking Glass. That got me thinking and running computer searches. Stephen Sondheim wrote a book called Look, I Made a Hat. Maya Angelou wrote Even the Stars Look Lonesome, and pseudonymous Bosch wrote This Isn't What It Looks Like. They all have look in the title, said Kyle. What about the other 5 authors? Asked Akimi. Did they write books too? No, they're up there for a different word. Huh? Booker T. Washington wrote Up from Slavery, and Shel Silverstein wrote Falling Up. And Dr. Seuss, said Kyle. Great day for Up, George Orwell did, coming up for air. And Todd Strasser has a book called If I Grow Up. So the 10 statues give us 2 words, said Miguel. Yep, look and up. So I did. I looked up at the Wonder Dome. There, did you see it? The string of numbers that just drifted across the 200 screen under the Star of David. 220.5203, said Miguel. Akimi knuckle punched Kyle in the arm. This is just like the bonus code thingy you showed me on the school bus. Of course, said Kyle. This is Lemoncello game. He always hides secret codes in screwy places. Way to go, Sierra. Thanks, said Sierra, realizing how much fun it was to play this game with real friends instead of virtual ones on the internet. But we already found that same 200's number playing Bibliomania, said Miguel. True, said Kyle. Check out the sections for numbers the cards wouldn't give us. Everybody craned their necks and focused on the graphics swimming across the 10 panels overhead. Here comes another one, said Sierra, in the 600s, right underneath the floating stethoscope. Got it, said Kyle. 624.193. Woohoo, said Akimi. Sierra, you're my new hero, said Kyle. You saved the day. Sierra blushed. Thanks. The spinner, said Akimi. Huh, said Miguel. That was another clue. The Bibliomaniac game was pointing us to the ceiling, too, because in a Dewey Decimal mode, the Wonder Dome looks like a giant 3D version of the board game's spinner. Awesome, Sierra, said Miguel. Absolutely awesome. Sierra and her teammates stared up at the ceiling for over an hour. At 12:30, they finally lay down on the floor so they wouldn't cramp their neck muscles, because every 15 minutes the animated ceiling looped through call numbers for every Dewey Decimal room in the library, except one. And then the sequence repeated itself. How come there's no 300 number? Said Miguel. Probably because that's the one book we really, really, really need, said Kyle. That Lemoncello, said Akimi. What a comedian. Chapter 42. Peering over the railing on the 3rd floor balcony at close to 2 a.m., Andrew Peckelman saw Sierra Russell sitting all alone in the rotunda reading room. Andrew had spent the night on the 3rd floor losing video games to Charles and being reminded about how much he needed to break into the community meeting room B to borrow any clues Kyle Keeley's team had gathered to pay Charles back for wasting so much of the team's time on the Anne of Green Gables clue due to his foolish fear of heights. Andrew had promised Charles he'd do whatever it took. If anyone on Team Keeley is going to help us break into their headquarters, Charles had said, it will be the shy girl who is constantly reading. Have you noticed that Sierra Russell uses what she uses for a bookmark? No, Andrew said honestly. Her library card, of course, doubles as a key card for meeting room B. Find a way to borrow it. Isn't that illegal? Of course not. This is a library. People borrow books, don't they? Well, yeah. Did I mention that I have 3,000 Facebook friends, 2,000 Twitter followers? Each and every one of them will hear what a weenie and wimp you are if you don't do this thing to guarantee that our team wins. So Andrew made his way down to the 1st floor. Sierra, as usual, was reading a book. As he moved closer, Andrew saw a flash of white. Charles was right. Sierra was using her shiny white library card to mark her place in the book's pages. He made his way to the cluster of overstuffed reading chairs. Good book? His voice startled her. Oh, hello, yes. Mind if I join you? He slid into a crinkly leather seat opposite Sierra. So, what are you reading? Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator by Roald Dahl. Oh, yeah, I've heard about that book. Where's the rest of your team? They went to bed. Want to get up bright and early before the doors on the second floor open again. Yeah, Haley and Charles conked out too. Guess it's just us bookworms, huh? Well, it is kind of late, said Sierra. I'm going to go upstairs and... May I take a book? May I take a look at your book? I've never actually read it. I just tell people I have. Oh, sure, Sierra handed it to him. Thank you. Andrew flipped through the pages until he found the spot where Sierra had tucked in her library card. Wouldn't it be cool if this library had a flying elevator like in that Willy Wonka movie? Especially if you could use it to crash through the roof like Charlie and Wonka did. That'd be a pretty cool way to escape from the library, huh? Yeah, I guess. That was when Andrew made the switch. He slipped his library card into Sierra's book and palmed hers. Charles would be so proud of him. So he said, closing the book, did you ever read The Elevator Family? No, I don't think so. It's all about this family that lives in the elevator of a San Francisco hotel. And let's just say the book has its ups and downs. Andrew laughed hysterically because it was one of the funniest jokes he knew. Sierra sort of chuckled. He handed back her book. Overhead, the Wonder Dome dissolved out of its Dewey Decimal mode and with a swirl of colors became a bright green bedroom with a pair of red framed windows. Looking out on a blue night sky with a full moon and a blanket of twinkling stars in the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of a cow jumping over the moon. The ceiling had become the bunny's bedroom from Goodnight Moon. A quiet old lady bunny in a frumpy blue dress hopped into the rotunda reading room. 2 tiny cats followed her. Great, said Andrew. Another stupid hologram. I think she's cute, said Sierra. Hush, said the bunny. Good night clocks and good night socks. Good night, Sierra. Good night, Bunny. Sierra took her book and headed upstairs. Good night, Andrew, said the bunny. Right. He pocketed the purloined library card. He couldn't do anything with it right away, not while the holographic bunny handlers were watching on the spy cameras. But first thing in the morning, good night, old bunny, saying hush, he called out. And then under his breath, he muttered, in the morning, our competition, we're gonna crush. Chapter 43. Up bright and early the next morning, Kyle made his way across the rotunda reading room. It was 8:15. The Dewey Decimal doors would open in 1 hour and 45 minutes. The game would be over in less than 4 hours. Kyle was totally pumped. Sierra Russell, on the other hand, was sitting in a comfy chair reading a book. Hey, said Kyle. Hi, said Sierra, stifling a small yawn. Did you stay up all night reading? No, I went upstairs around 2, but there was a new stack of books on the librarian's desk when I came down. Oh, really? What'd you find? 5 copies of this. She showed Kyle her book. It was The 11th Hour, a curious mystery. It's a rhyming picture book about Horace the Elephant's 11th birthday party and the search to find out who ran off with all the food. There are hidden messages and cryptic codes all over the pages. Why is it called The 11th Hour? The birthday feast was supposed to take place at 11 a.m., but since somebody stole all the food, Kyle laughed. Even 11 a.m.? What? The 11th hour, the last possible moment. Kyle nudged his head up at the Wonder Dome. How much do you want to bet that 11 o'clock on the dot, the clue we need most of all will pop up in the 300th section? Sierra smiled. So this new book is a clue about our clue. That's my guess. Did you eat breakfast? Not yet. Well, what are you waiting for? Said Miguel as he strode into the room. Today's the big day. We're going to need our energy for the final sprint. He's right, said Akimi, climbing down the spiral staircase. The doors open in less than 2 hours. Then we'll only have 2 more hours to figure everything out. But, said Kyle to his other teammates, Sierra just figured out when we'll get the big 300s clue. He gestured toward the picture book at the last possible minute. What? Said Akimi. 11:59? Close. 11 o'clock. Awesome, said Miguel. It must be a very good clue. Kyle and his team went into the cafe where they found Haley Daly seated at a table eating half a grapefruit and staring blankly through the glass walls into the rotunda. Hey, Haley, said Kyle. How's it going? Not bad. You? Good. Win or lose, we're having a blast. We're the fun bunch, said Akimi. You guys really get along, huh? Oh, yes, said Sierra. I haven't had this much fun since I was 6. Seriously? What's the matter, Haley, said Akimi. Life not so good on Team Charles? It's okay, I guess. I mean, we've pulled together some good clues and all. Well, said Miguel, if you ever want to switch sides, we're always looking for new members. Can I do that? Just switch sides? Even though I know everything about what Team Charles did all day yesterday? I think so, said Kyle. I mean, there was nothing in the rules about teams. Huh? Said Haley. And Andrews teamed up with you guys? No, said Kyle. Haley nodded toward the wall of windows behind Kyle. Then why'd he just swipe his library card and go into your meeting room?